Columbus is aiming for the big leagues with a multi-million-dollar push this week to land a professional women's soccer team. But as the city plans for growth, some people say the cost could change more than just the game.
There are a lot of opportunities for other types of capital development that's not happening, and that $25 million could be spent in better ways.
This week in Boomtown, why some see a new women's soccer team as a goal for the future, while others say it's the wrong play. Plus, Central Ohio's next big transportation transformation is taking shape, and the new focus is what comes next for your neighborhood.
We heard a lot of people wanting more green space, more places where they can bike, but also make sure that they have better access to grocery stores, make sure that they have better access to daycares. We're hearing a whole variety of ideas.
How your voice can help decide the way bus rapid transit moves your neighborhood forward. And here's something many of us can relate to: sticker shock on your electric bill. You're not alone.
It's definitely costing more. It's not that we're using more.
I don't know how we're going to keep paying for all this, you know?
This week in Boomtown, what's behind the rising costs and why data centers are at the heart of the debate. Central Ohio certainly is booming. We all see it and we all can feel it. So here's what we uncovered this week in Boomtown. We are learning about a sweet milestone this week for a beloved Central Ohio tradition. The Utica Ice Cream Festival turns 50 this May. Renowned as the home of velvet ice cream, this hometown tradition now draws thousands of sweet tooths to Licking County. And for its golden anniversary, the festival returns to Ye Old Mill over Memorial Day weekend. Isn't that sweet? Now, it's not just the ice cream that's drawing people here. Central Ohio's food scene is booming. We'll have more on that in just a bit. Thanks for joining us for This Week in Boomtown. I'm Angela Ann. All right, can we talk soccer for just a minute? Columbus leaders say bringing a professional women's soccer team to Scott's Miracle-Gro Field will help our growing region. Now, the city is proposing to front $25 million. This will be repaid with a 2% surcharge on ticket sales. Supporters call this a long-term play, with revenue eventually going toward priorities like housing, human services, and programs for kids. But not everyone believes it's the right move, especially given where the city wants to build a new training facility for the soccer team. Here's what 10 TV's Libby Cathy learned during public comment this week at City Hall.
Good shot. Good shot.
That's what city leaders say about the possibility of Columbus landing the 18th National Women's Soccer League team.
Making sure that girls and women in this community know they're going to play on the biggest stages at the highest levels.
I love playing soccer and I love watching it, and it's just really fun.
After a rally outside City Hall, Council discussing the economic impact of funding a new soccer facility to support the bid.
A good deal that allows for us to bring, or at least be very competitive, to bring National Women's Soccer to Columbus while also protecting Columbus taxpayers.
Most residents speaking in favor.
Let's not talk about supporting women. Let's invest in them. Let's build infrastructure for them.
But others questioning how the facility would be funded.
I don't think that anything in this plan will benefit women and girls in my neighborhood, in the Hilltop, or in any other area of the city.
Some, including Councilmember Nancy Day Ockauer, explaining it will override existing plans for McCoy Park.
This opportunity is a happy moment for a lot of people, but let's be honest, it's a kick in the teeth to the neighborhood that has spent several years collaborating with our recreation and parks on a park for the community.
I'm devastated. I don't know how long it would take to completely replan something else.
Residents also questioning whether ticket revenue will fully repay the city and whether public funds should be allocated during a budget shortfall.
There are a lot of opportunities for other types of capital development that's not happening, and that $25 million could be spent in better ways.
Others questioning why the city should front $25 million when they say potential owners could pay for it themselves.
Stop giving billionaires our money.
Well, as we mentioned, part of the pushback is building that training facility at McCoy Park on the city's south side. The park was slated for something else years ago that neighbors say they would prefer. Here now is 10 TV's Doug Petcash with Mayor Andrew Ginther's promise to the south side.
While a goose enjoyed a lunchtime snack on a soccer field at McCoy Park, lifelong Columbus resident Christine Hall enjoyed some relaxing time coloring under a shade tree.
Because it gives me peace. It gives me some serenity here.
Hall appreciates having the park near where she lives.
It's beautiful. I get to bring my grandkids here. Get to play kickball with them.
Plans were already underway to transform the park with new adaptive soccer and softball fields and pickleball courts, as well as other features. Liz Reed is chair of the Southwest Area Commission.
And we're losing all of that. We're losing all the dreams and hopes that comes along with that improvement.
We've heard from our Southwest side neighbors this week that they have some concerns, and I want them to know that I hear them.
Mayor Ginther says the effort to bring an NWSL franchise to Columbus is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The city has proposed a $25 million public-private partnership to fund stadium upgrades and a new soccer facility at McCoy Park as part of Columbus's bid for the team.
Good morning, everybody.
Thursday, Ginther promised residents in the Southwest neighborhood a new park in a different location, similar to what McCoy Park would have become.
I want the neighbors of the Southwest side to know that I'm committed to providing them with the recreation opportunities that they desire and they deserve.
I don't see how they can make that new park happen this year as they intended.
Reed says she supports bringing an NWSL team here.
I love soccer. I think that would be amazing, but not at the cost of McCoy Park.
Hall also wants to keep McCoy Park.
There's things that can be done here within itself that you don't have to just completely destroy something that's already beautiful in Columbus.
And that was Doug Petcash reporting. So while the mayor admits the city does not have a location in mind for this new park, he did say both McCoy and the new park will be built out for the residents. By now, you have heard of LinkUS, the $8 billion plan by COTA to transform mobility in Central Ohio over the next 25 years. So we're talking bus rapid transit lines, otherwise known as BRT, but also more pedestrian and bike-friendly lanes and increasing bus service frequency by 45%. Basically, COTA wants to connect high-growth corridors with fast, reliable transit. All of this to help support what is expected to be fast growing population growth right here in Central Ohio, but also with the right infrastructure. So this month, COTA is about to embark on the first round of public meetings for the first BRT line that is planned under LinkUS. And joining us now on This Week in Boomtown to talk more about this, I want to welcome Jeff Pullen, spokesperson for COTA and the Director of Public Media and Relations. Good to see you as always, Jeff.
Thank you for having me.
This is so exciting. I feel like every week there's something new that comes out about LinkUS, and what we're learning now is that you are starting the first of 10 public hearings to talk about this BRT line.
Yeah, so we've actually engaged the West Broad Street community for a couple of years about bus rapid transit, but this is the next stage, and that is once the transit is developed in that community, what do you want to see growing around it? Would you like to see more affordable housing? Would you like to see more parks? Would you like better access to your schools or a doctor's appointment? And that's what transit-oriented development is. So we're conducting a study with the city of Columbus to go into the communities. We're coming to your community and asking you what you want to see grow around public transportation.
And let's talk about this as West Broad Corridor. This is really the first of 5 BRT lines that COTA wants to bring. And it's really like this huge area that goes from downtown Columbus all the way to the western part of Franklin County.
Yeah, it's more than 9 miles. It covers really 5 communities. You got Prairie Township, you have Westland, you have the Hilltop, you have Franklinton, and of course the downtown area. All of them have different people along that corridor who have different expectations of what they would like to see. So we're coming into those communities and we're saying bus rapid transit's coming to your community. What would you like to see improve around it? I know there are people around the Westland area would love to see what is going to happen with the former Westland Mall site.
Sure.
They're going to want to have input. So we're coming to those communities in April, May, and June at different times, making sure that everybody can go either on the weekend or during the week. and really tell us what you would like to see improved. And that information, of course, will go to the City of Columbus and Franklin County so they can make future development progress.
Out of all these BRTs, I know there's one along East Main that will go through Bexley. There's the Northwest Corridor up into Dublin. Why was West Broad picked? Because this is supposed to be online by 2028, not too far off.
Yeah,
Why was it picked first?
Yeah, it's not too far away, and we hope to break ground on that later on this year. This was really based on studies done by CODA and MORPSI over the past 10 to 15 years that really evaluated the population growth in our region and where people would best need reliable, affordable transportation. So as you look for almost 1 million more people over the next 25 years, we have to look at corridors where people are going to want to live, work, and grow in their community. And we found that West Broad Street was really a great place to start and work with the City of Columbus and Franklin County to build a really great BRT.
Can you help clarify for me, Jeff, here? One number that I found interesting was that the West Broad Street corridor is already 90% designed, the BRT line.
Yes.
So there are some people and viewers saying, well, wait, what's the point of me going to this TOD to get my input if you're already 90% done? But the BRT design is very different from the TOD.
Yes, we are the transit part of that, of the transit-oriented development. It will be up to the City of Columbus and Franklin County Commission and others within that corridor. We have 2 townships, Prairie and Franklin Township, to decide what goes into the community around public transportation. It's not enough just to build a great rapid transit through the community. There needs to be destinations. There needs to be affordable housing. There needs to be opportunities where you can spend your entire day going up and down West Broad Street and get everything from your work to your education to your doctor's appointments to your grocery shopping. And we want to build a better connected community. We also want to see things like green spaces. We want to see walking paths. We want to see parks. But we want the community's input. That is where it comes into play. That is where we've already had that discussion about BRT with that community. We want to hear what you want to go around it to make your community better.
And this is really also for the city leaders to hear more about it because they have a stake in this. If people don't like riding the line because they don't like what's around it, it won't be a success for anyone. So once these TOD hearings are done, again, 10 of them slated for now into the summer, what happens next? When could we see ground break first?
What will happen with BRT is we're at 90% design, which means we will, over the next couple of months, start going out into the community, that's residents and business owners along West Broad Street, give them a better timeline of when construction will happen. We hope to break ground on West Broad Street in late November or late October or early November.
Of this year.
Of this year.
Okay.
That'll be a groundbreaking ceremony. Construction will probably pick up early in 2027, but we will give them a better idea of that timeline. What we can tell you is it will begin in Prairie Township and it will be built in sections throughout until they get to downtown.
So outside in.
Outside in, in phases, so it won't be the whole corridor at one time. We're doing that in phases to make sure that we minimize as much inconvenience to the community.
And Jeff Poland also sharing with us that LinkUS is going through a major leadership change right now, but the development, he says, is moving forward. We learned Dorinda McCombs, the Chief Program Officer for LinkUS, is no longer at CODA after joining only 7 months ago. Poland explained her departure as a, quote, misalignment with how LinkUS should be delivered. Well, another week and another data center debate, this time playing out in Marysville. The city's planning commission updated the zoning code this week to clarify the difference between large data centers, like the billion-dollar center operated by Amazon, and small private centers operated by local companies.
I do have concerns about the presentation, that it will be used as a guide to make decisions on data centers when it doesn't fully explain or address the impacts of large-scale data centers.
Sounds like there's more debate to come. Meantime, Marysville residents are not alone in their concerns. This is video from Drone 10 showing a massive development in Hilliard, one of more than 130 already in Central Ohio. Leaders who support data center development say these centers bring important economic and job opportunities to our region. Yet some will argue these tech giants are also driving up the cost of electricity. According to the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio, the average bill this March was nearly 10% higher compared to 1 year ago. So, are data centers really causing the spike? As 10 Investigates' Rochelle Aline tells us, the answer is complicated.
What have your recent electric bills looked like?
They've went up probably double, I would say, in the last year.
I mean, our bill's definitely gone up. I'd say it's probably about a 50% increase.
All across central Ohio, the same answer. But why? According to energy provider AEP, part of it is that it's costing them more to get power to you. They're the distribution and transmission charges on your monthly bill. And in this case, this customer paid more for those fees in a month than they did for the electricity they used. To learn more, I sat down with the director of the Ohio Consumers Council. She says the power grid is getting old, and as demand increases, it's going to cost more to maintain it. And she claims there's also been a recent jump in demand from a specific industry that's increasing costs for everyone.
We can safely say that data centers are likely causing the need for lots of transmission build and lots of expenses.
But reps for the data center industry don't quite see it the same.
What I would say is that the data shows that data centers are not, the one factor increasing costs. As the data center industry, we are fully committed to paying our full cost of service for electricity. When we get a bill, we expect it to be our cost in full.
The state decides how to divide up the cost to get you your power. And while they've recently set rules for how much new data centers have to pay, the OCC says customers are still footing the bill for existing data centers.
What the PUCO has authority to do is figure out how much of those costs should be paid by which customers.
It has been a month now since Ted Carter resigned as OSU president. And this week, we are now hearing from the CEO of Jobs Ohio on camera for the first time about the agency's sponsorship of a controversial podcast tied to Carter's resignation. Now, Jobs Ohio spent $60,000 to sponsor 4 episodes of the Call Out podcast, but only 1 aired. So we asked Jobs Ohio CEO JP Nassif how that sponsorship connects to Central Ohio's growth strategy. Here's what he told 10 TV's Kevin Landers during a luncheon at the Columbus Metropolitan Club.
Do you think it was a good investment?
We were investing in building an audience that we could target for veterans, with veteran leaders that participated in that, and we won't know because it was pulled down and we were not able to complete the arc of the 4 podcasts. So we're not going to know if that would have worked or not. It was too early. We're targeting an audience of veterans and military families. They're highly sought after as employees. We're hearing that from Anduril. We're hearing that from Joby. We're hearing that from Honda. We're hearing that from Sierra Nevada Corporation, and they're sought after.
Well, JP Nassif also spoke about the race for Ohio's economic future at the CMC luncheon this week and how Jobs Ohio is sustaining momentum. The panel also included Ohio Chamber of Commerce CEO Steve Stivers. He used a hockey reference to describe how well our region is positioned. Take a listen.
I'm going to start with really the trillion-dollar question here. Are we talking about sustaining momentum here in Ohio or preventing decline? Is there a choice between the two? Steve, I'll start with you.
I mean, you can make a choice between the two, but clearly what we should be focused on is sustaining momentum. Wayne Gretzky once said you want to skate to where the puck is going. There's some giant trends in America and the world that are influencing growth. By the way, Columbus is the fastest growing city in the Midwest, fastest growing city north of the Mason-Dixon, one of the fastest growing cities in the country. But the things that are impacting all of us are the electrification of everything, AI and data becoming so important, reshoring of manufacturing, a massive military industrial regrowth, and a massive reindustrialization of our military capacity, and then reshoring of manufacturing, a geographic rebalance where a lot of things that were going to the south are now rebalancing, or the coasts are rebalancing in the Midwest is a very, very attractive area. And finally, we are in the age of logistics. And because we are geographically positioned within an 8-hour trip by car with 50% of America's population, and frankly, all of these factors, we have a lot of things going for us. And so we are skating to where the puck is going.
Well, we are starting to see growth everywhere in Central Ohio, especially in the food scene. First stop, Grandview, right here, where one closure is already making room for something new. We're talking about Biscuit Belly, bringing its Southern comfort food to the former hot chicken takeover space at West 5th and Grandview Avenues. And get this, the business says there were 9 other offers on that location in just 1 week. Truly a sign that demand is high and businesses are seeing opportunity here. All right, that growth also bringing fresh, unique concepts like this one. Joe Chong, the owner of Don Pocha Korean barbecue in Upper Arlington, very popular, is expanding his footprint now to North Columbus. Take a look behind me. This is a Ramen Easy K Food Cafe right on Olentangy River Road. And if you look closely, customers can literally build their own instant ramen from more than 60 different options. Well, it's not just new businesses that are leveling up. Local favorites are as well. La Vida in Chillicothe just scored big. We're talking, this happened at the 2026 International Pizza Expo World Challenge. More than 700 competitors, and it came in for the Midwest. Top 3, in fact, the 25th best cheese pizza in the world. This win proves that as Central Ohio grows, our local businesses are standing out in a global stage. If you have questions related to Central Ohio's rapid growth, we would love to hear from you. Just text us 614-460-3345. And if you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to hit like and subscribe. You can always drop that question right there in the comment section as well. Well, that does it for us here for This Week in Boomtown. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Angela Ann. We'll see you again next week.